Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something lots of you are dealing with. How to make video really work within Moodle.
Right. Not just bolted on, but properly integrated.
Exactly. We spent time with a pretty detailed webinar that explored just this, how video assignments, video feedback can genuinely change the learning game.
It's really timely.
So if you're looking to get students more engaged, maybe simplify your own workflow around video, this is for you, our mission today, to pull out the really key insights from that session and figure out why MEDIAL seems to be positioned as such a strong solution specifically for Moodle users.
Yeah, and it's interesting. The webinar stressed that video in education isn't just, a flash in the pan from the pandemic.
Oh, they stuck around.
It really has. It's more about this growing understanding of its actual teaching power. People want to use it effectively inside systems they already know, like Moodle.
Which makes sense. You don't want another separate platform if you can help it.
Precisely. And that's where something designed for that Moodle environment really shines.
Okay, so let's dig into why these video assignments and feedback methods are making such waves. The webinar pointed to, well, pretty significant increases in student engagement.
Yeah, and it's not just engagement as a buzzword. Think about it. Video is interactive, it's multimedia.
It hits different learning preferences.
Exactly. It can make assignments feel less like, a dry task and more like, well, an experience. Like you said earlier, watching a good explainer video often sticks better than reading pages of text.
True. And the flexibility for assignments seems huge, too. The webinar really pushed beyond just, say, recording a presentation.
Oh, totally. Think about practical demonstrations, interviews students conduct, creative video projects. It's not just essays anymore.
Which must be great for different kinds of learners.
Absolutely. It lets students show what they know in ways that maybe feel more natural or expressive for them, rather than being forced into one single format.
And it seems like this actually boosts learning outcomes, too, not just interest.
That's what the research suggests, yeah. The webinar touched on impacts on critical thinking because you have to plan and structure a video argument.
Right. It's not just hitting record.
No. And it builds communication skills, digital literacy, which are, let's face it, essential skills now.
For sure. And they mentioned something about accessibility, too, for diverse student backgrounds.
Yeah, for some students, maybe non-native speakers or those less comfortable with academic writing, video can actually be a more accessible way to articulate complex ideas.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, switching gears slightly to feedback, what are the big advantages there? It sounds potentially more time-consuming for instructors.
And that's the initial thought, maybe. But the quality and richness of the feedback can be way higher.
How so?
Well, think about tone of voice. You can convey nuance that's lost in text. You can share your screen, point to specific things in their work visually.
Like circling something or demonstrating a correction.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can actually show them how to improve something rather than just describing it. That kind of detailed, personalized guidance. Hard to match with written comments alone.
And that personal touch the webinar mentioned, addressing students by name, referencing their work specifically.
It makes a huge difference. It feels less like a generic marking exercise and more like a supportive conversation,
Yeah, shifting feedback from just a grade to actual dialogue. I like that.
Okay, so keeping all those benefits in mind, let's talk practicalities. How do you actually create good video assignments in Moodle? And crucially, how does MEDIAL help?
Right. The webinar was big on clear instructions first.
Yeah.
Seems obvious, but
It's foundational, isn't it? You need to spell out the purpose, the requirements, topic, length, how it'll be graded, no ambiguity.
And MEDIAL helps here how? Is it just a text box?
Well, yes, you add instructions in the standard Moodle text editor, which is familiar. But the cool thing the webinar showed is embedding video instructions right alongside the text.
Oh, interesting. Like a quick video walkthrough of the task.
Exactly. Think how much clearer that could be for some students, especially visual learners, compared to just reading instructions, though you still have the text for confirmation.
Good point. Catering to both. What about equipment? That's often a hurdle.
Huge hurdle. The webinar really stressed this. Students shouldn't need fancy cameras or editing software. The easier the recording, the better.
So browser-based recording is key then for screen sharing and things like that.
Absolutely. And this is where MEDIAL seems strong, according to the webinar. It has built-in browser-based screen recording.
Meaning they can record right from their web browser. No installs.
Correct. They can share just a specific application like PowerPoint or a single browser tab or their whole screen, all without extra software.
And editing. Do they need separate software for that?
Nope. MEDIAL includes basic editing tools right there, too. Trim the start, trim the end. Simple stuff, but often all that's needed. Again, no extra downloads.
Okay, that removes a lot of friction. The webinar also mentioned planning, right? Like storyboarding.
Yeah, encouraging students to think it through first. It's not just about the tech, but good pedagogy. Plan your video.
And MEDIAL's editing helps refine that plan into the final product. What about things like peer review? Does MEDIAL connect with Moodle's tools?
Well, Moodle already has great features like group assignments and the workshop activity for peer review. The webinar pointed out that MEDIAL integrates smoothly, so if the assignment is a video, it works within those existing Moodle structures.
Got it. So it enhances Moodle's capabilities rather than replacing them.
That seems to be the philosophy. Seamless integration.
Okay, let's dive into that integration more. How exactly does MEDIAL fit inside Moodle? The webinar suggested it was pretty user-friendly.
Yeah, very much so. Firstly, it's not just for assignments. You can use MEDIAL anywhere in Moodle that has that standard text editor.
So like embedding a video in a forum post or a course announcement.
Exactly. Or even using the dedicated MEDIAL activity type to just add a video resource directly onto the main course page. Lots of flexibility.
But the assignment integration is the main focus here.
It's a big part of it, yes. And the key takeaway from the webinar was that for teachers used to setting up assignments in Moodle, using MEDIAL adds almost no extra complexity. The workflow is very familiar.
That's crucial for adoption, isn't it? Teachers are busy.
Hugely. The webinar showed a dedicated MEDIAL button right there in the assignment settings. Teachers click it to easily add their instructional videos. It's just there.
Convenient. And you mentioned analytics earlier. For teachers.
Yes, this was a really highlighted feature. Teachers can see engagement data for their own video directly within the MEDIAL Moodle plugin.
What kind of data?
Who watched it and how much of it they watched. So you can see if that explainer video is actually being viewed or if students are dropping off halfway through.
That's really valuable insight for refining teaching materials.
Definitely. And the recording process for teachers looked simple too. Right from the Moodle text editor, they can record using their webcam.
HD options, microphone choices.
Yep. Options for HDSD, selecting the mic, basic trimming, adding titles and descriptions, choosing a thumbnail image, even optionally adding captions or linking related documents. It's all integrated.
It sounds very streamlined for the instructor side. What about the student submission experience? How does MEDIAL change that in Moodle?
So when the MEDIAL plugin is enabled, a new submission type appears in the Moodle assignment settings called Video Assignment.
Ah, so it's explicit.
Right. The webinar showed that this makes it super clear for students. They see an obvious button like Upload Media or Record Media.
And the recording is browser-based for them too.
Yes, same as for teachers, record screen, record camera, or both at the same time.
Both, like picture-in-picture.
Exactly. And again, they can choose to share just one application, a browser tab, or the whole screen. Very flexible for different assignment types.
And they can switch between camera and screen during the recording.
The webinar showcased that, yeah. Pretty useful if you're explaining something on screen but want to pop back to camera view for emphasis.
What about uploading? Does it take ages after they finish recording?
Apparently not. It uses real-time uploading, so the video is uploading while they record. No big wait at the end.
Smart. Any other handy features for students?
A pause button during recording, which is always helpful. And crucially, once they're done, adding the recording to their assignment submission happens right there. No leaving Moodle, no installing anything.
Nice. Does it handle group submissions if the assignment is a group video?
Yes. The webinar confirmed it works seamlessly with Moodle's built-in group assignment functionality.
Okay, that covers submission. Now let's circle back to feedback. You mentioned a specific MEDIAL plugin for that.
That's right. It's called the MEDIAL Video Feedback plugin. It adds the ability for teachers to provide feedback as a video recording within the Moodle grading interface.
And this allows screen recording too, over the student's work.
Yes, that was a key feature demonstrated. The teacher can record their screen, pull up the student's submission, maybe it's a document, maybe it's the student's own video, and then talk through it, annotating or pointing things out visually.
Wow, okay. That sounds incredibly direct and helpful compared to just text comments.
It really does. Imagine circling a paragraph and explaining why it needs work, or showing them how to fix a calculation on screen.
And analytics apply here too. Can teachers see if students watch the feedback?
Yes, same principle. They can check if the feedback video has actually been viewed, adds a layer of accountability.
And recording this feedback, is it complicated for the teacher?
looked very straightforward in the demo. Right within the standard Moodle grading page, there's an option to record medial video feedback. Smooth workflow again.
And easy for students to access, presumably?
Yeah, it just appears as part of their feedback within Moodle.
Okay, so the webinar really painted MEDIAL as deeply integrated.
Yeah.
Did they touch on the different product options or pricing?
Briefly, yes. They mentioned the full MEDIAL platform, which is more comprehensive, includes a whole video-on-demand library, live streaming capabilities, things maybe a whole institution might need.
Right, beyond just the Moodle plugin. Any idea on cost for that?
The webinar said the full platform starts at just under $4,000 a year.
Okay.
But importantly, for folks specifically wanting the Moodle integration features we've been discussing, there's MEDIAL Lite.
Lite, what's that?
It's a cloud-based version focused squarely on the Moodle plugin functionality. Browser recording, assignment submission, video feedback, all that stuff.
And the pricing for that?
Starts at just under $200 per month. So a different scale aimed directly at enhancing Moodle courses.
That makes it much more accessible for departments or smaller institutions. Is there a way to try it out?
Yes, they highlighted a 7-day free trial of MEDIAL Lite that you can connect directly to your own Moodle site to test it out.
Good to know. And where can people find more details?
The webinar pointed to two places, medial.com pricing for the options and medial.com.com mood, that's M-O-O-D, for more specifics on the Moodle plugin itself.
Okay, medial.com pricing and medial.com pours a mood. Got it.
So wrapping up this deep dive, the message from the webinar was pretty clear, wasn't it? MEDIAL seems purpose-built to make video work effectively in Moodle.
Yeah, it addresses those core benefits. Boosting engagement, allowing for diverse assignments, hopefully improving learning.
And importantly, streamlining the whole process,
Yeah.
making it easier for teachers to create assignments and give rich feedback, and easier for students to submit video work without technical hassles.
Right. The emphasis was really on removing complexity. No need for extra software installs, no steep learning curve if you already know Moodle. It makes video feel like a natural extension.
Which leads us to that final thought for you listening. Given how smoothly something like MEDIAL can integrate video, how could using more dynamic video assignments and feedback truly change things in your specific courses?
Yeah, what new possibilities might open up for student expression, for deeper engagement, for demonstrating understanding in your particular field?
It's definitely something worth thinking about. What could you do differently if video was this easy to manage within Moodle?
A great question to ponder.